when someone can't care, and I suppose, well, what is that? When someone can't care, try to let that person go. It can be really hard to do that, but you know, here's something to think about. We never know how long we're going to be around, right? I mean, I think it's a mistake when medical professionals tell a person, with some kind of illness that is thought to be terminal, that they're going to die in a certain time frame. I think that's really wrong, bad, just a real abuse of power, really. I mean, you know, uh, but why did I say that? Um, what I was going to say is we never know how much time we have, right? I mean, something could happen, and there we go, and or there's someone else goes, and so if someone can't care, maybe that person is getting close to death. Maybe that person actually isn't going to be around for much longer, and one way or the other, let yourself. And it's hard. It's really hard if you're someone who tends towards a lot of compassion. It can be hard to do this, but if someone doesn't care, they're not well. They're not well, and emotions affect the body. So if a person can't care, try to close the door. Try to close the door. Maybe it's not going to completely close. Maybe that's a challenge, but really, it could be that that person is getting close to death, and you don't need to be close to death. You don't need to die. You need to stay alive. So, you know, pull your energy back to yourself, your love, and protect yourself in what ways you can. It is so hard. It's hard for some of us, you know, that, bleeding heart kind of thing. I mean, but yeah, when someone can't care, when they can't find it in themselves to care, let yourself see it, let yourself acknowledge it, even if it's a challenge, even if it's one of the hardest things you've ever done, thinking about closing that door. And again, I really think it could be that a person is close to death, and they might not know it, and it might not even look like it medically, but think about when pets are sick and behavior is a certain way. Um, there can be behavior that changes over a lengthy time frame. It might not be real sudden, but and a person might change over years to where they were perhaps a caring person at one time, and they've learned, I don't know what, but something is shut down. And again, emotionally, when things aren't healthy, physically, a person isn't as healthy as they could be. And yeah, so let yourself close doors when you need to. And again, just, acknowledge maybe that person is dying. If not, well, that person is at least somewhat dead inside. And, you know, uh, yeah, so just some thoughts. And, yeah, um, I was thinking about when some of us get used to death, because so many people have died who we love, and it is so important to really not ever let it be, you know, something routine. Like, okay, so and so died. People really need to be enough in touch with their hearts that you feel the grief of loss. Even if you don't cry real often, you allow yourself to feel that grief of losing people you love, and seeing, sometimes looking at the bigger picture, or a lot of people dying. And what is that about? I mean, health wise, stress wise, there are different ways a person could think about some of that. What's going on that's contributing to deaths. Um, don't ever let yourself be casual about that. But again, when someone doesn't care, let yourself see it, let yourself acknowledge it. No, that is not about you. That is about that person. It's an illness. And close the door, close the doors you need to. Maybe the door is going to open and you're going to, again, have to sort of work hard to let yourself, acknowledge something has died, something in that person has died, and again, that person could be close to death. So, yeah, just some thoughts, yeah, I feel when a person is not taking good enough care of their body and emotionally, when a person pretty much makes a decision to not be as healthy as they could be, well, that person is making that decision. A person can do that in anger, wanting to hurt other people. Don't let that harm you. An adult doing that, thinking about teenagers, young adults, a bit different. They're young, don't have as much life experience. When it's an adult and a bit older, an adult is behaving that way, that can be to inflict harm. Do not let it hurt you. Just see it for what it is. And yeah, so anyhow, yeah, just some words, and I hope it helps somebody.